What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Fresh Review. You're new to the channel. What we do here is we review each and every WWE Premium Live event, and we're a little bit behind, but right now we're reviewing WWE Survivor Series War Games. Now, I did see the Royal Rumble, so I will talk about that when I will get that video out tomorrow. Unless you guys want me to do the Saturday night's main events, I can get both of those in and then get the Royal Rumble out by Wednesday. But without further ado, let's start with the opening match, which was the Women's War Game match. It consisted of Bayley, Naomi, Bianca, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan. So it's like the champion and their henchmen versus the tag team champions and some of the challengers to the champions, some of the top contenders. And I really didn't like the build for this match. What I did kind of like was Jade got took out, so then Naomi fills in. She steps up for the tag team and all that. Then they also get Bayley to interfere in the match, even though she wasn't officially listed in the match. So you can't interfere in the War Game one-on-one Soul Advantage match or whatever. But Bayley interfered. But that's because she wasn't the fifth person officially. So you get that tandem there. I don't know if Bayley was the person that took out Jade Cargill. We don't know when Jade Cargill will return. I don't know what's going on there. But that's okay. But the teams did just seem like they just got put together. Especially look at Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, who just fought at Crown Jewel, and now they team up for some reason. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the match. This match started off with Nia Jax and Bayley, and their chemistry looked awful to start the match. Bayley climbs the top rope. She delivers a hurricanrana to Nia. Didn't look very good. Bayley removes a part of her clothing, like a arm sleeve or whatnot, then beats Nia with it. Nia yanks the arm sleeve back, then she beats Bayley with it. Then she uses the arm sleeve to wipe her hindquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta burn the arm sleeve. It's a shame because I like Bayley's attire. But then Nia lands two running hip attacks to Bayley. One sends her to the other ring. The other squashes her into the cage. Now it's Naomi's turn to enter the match. Naomi enters the match with a kendo stick and a toilet seat. Naomi assaults Nia with the kendo stick. Nia grabs the kendo stick and beats Bayley and Naomi with it. Bayley and Naomi use the kendo stick and the toilet seat to fight back. Naomi places the toilet seat on Nia's head, then gives her a stink face, the stinkiest of stink faces known to man. Now the next entrance enter, and Tiffany wants to go in. She's hyped to go in to assist Nia, but Candice LeRae jumps in front of her, and Candice LeRae enters instead. LeRae enters with a bunch of steel chairs. Nia assaults Bayley and Naomi with a steel chair, but the chair shots look atrocious. Lerae throws Naomi face first into Nia, who's holding up a steel chair. Lerae jumps off of a steel chair to deliver a code breaker to Bayley, while simultaneously delivering a senton to Naomi. That is clever, creative offense there by Lerae. Naomi positions Bayley onto two chairs so that Lerae can hit a springboard moonsault onto her. Great move there by Lerae. Bianca enters the ring next. She comes in with a trash can that she hurls right at Nia's head. Bianca brings in a fire extinguisher and a table too. Bianca does her patented top rope backflip over Nia before tossing a chair at her. Nia catches the chair, but Bianca drop kicks the chair into Nia's face. In the corner, Bianca delivers 10 punches to Nia, while Naomi simultaneously delivers 10 kicks to Nia, so they are just jumping Nia in the corner. She got hit with a 20-piece combo special from McDonald's. Have it your way, gotta love it. I'm loving. I don't even know what the heck the slogan is. I done messed up the slogan 3 times, but let's continue. Tiffany enters the ring next. She comes in with a trash can and a trash lid. Bianca backflips over Tiffany, but Tiffany turns around and hits her with the trash lid in the head. Naomi gets the same trash lid to the face treatment. It's a universal health care plan. Everybody gets the same treatment. Plus, Naomi gets the Alabama slam. Tiffany lands a springboard back elbow to Bianca in the corner. Tiffany catapults Bayley into a Nia splash. Great tag team combo work here by Tiffany and Tiffany and Nia. Nia picks Bianca up into a fireman's carry. Tiffany connects with a blockbuster onto Bianca. So it's like a blockbuster from the top rope, and then the fireman carry turns into a Samoan drop. More great tag team combo work by Nia and Tiffany. Now it's Io Sky's turn to enter. She's the next participant. She climbs the steel cage with a trash can strapped around her. Lerae meets her at the top of the steel cage, so Io places the trash can at the top. She leaves it up there. Lerae goes for a superplex from the top of the cage, but Io reverses into a sunset flip powerbomb attempt, but she slips, doesn't get it. So they improvise, they mess up. So Io just kicks Lerae off before delivering a top rope missile drop kick. Disappointing. I want to see a superplex off the cage. Then I'm like, okay, I settle for a sunset flip powerbomb. We get neither, just get a missile drop kick. Tiffany and Io both evade each other's moves by doing some acrobatic flips. They got great chemistry here. It almost looks like the things that they bashed Ricochet and Will Ospreay for doing. But it did look cool when Io and Tiffany did it. Now Io grabs a chair and strikes Tiffany and Lerae with it. Io connects with a bullet train express to both Tiffany and Lerae. Raquel Rodriguez is the next participant to enter. She comes in with a table. Raquel fallaway slams Io into the cage and javelin throws Naomi into the cage. Nia and Raquel, the two powerhouses, both overpower Bayley and throw them into the cage simultaneously. Bayley and Bianca, I mean. Then Nia and Raquel both powerbomb Io and Naomi into the steel cage. Then they powerbomb Io and Naomi into each other like they're giving a toast. Cheers. And then they powerbomb both of them onto Bayley and Bianca on the ground. Now Rhea, the final participant for her team, she enters the ring with a table. Naomi springs off the top rope to connect with a double rear view to Nia and Raquel. Rhea strikes Raquel so hard with the toilet seat that the seat actually breaks in half. Bayley grabs Bianca's hair and uses the hair to beat Nia. Naomi grabs the broken half of the toilet seat, uses that to beat Nia. Tiffany strikes with a steel chair to the back of Rhea. Io cracks Tiffany in the back with a kendo stick. Lerae smacks Io with a kendo stick. It's rapid fire action. Then Bianca uses her braid to whip Candice LeRae. You hear the sounds from the nosebleed. Bianca grabs the steel chair, but Raquel big boots the steel chair into Bianca's face. Naomi delivers a bulldog to Raquel onto the broken toilet. Nia clotheslines Naomi. Rhea connects with three headbutts to Nia, dropping her. And now Rhea awaits for Liv Morgan to enter the ring. So we got a lot of chaos right there during the final stretch of the final entrance. And now as Liv turns to enter the ring and she looks spooked. She's a little scared. Mommy has her shaking in her boots. Liv was out past curfew with Dirty Dom, and Mommy is mad at her. Should have been back home before the streetlights came on. She was not. So Liv actually leaves. She goes to the back, but she comes back with a baseball bat. The same baseball bat that fractured Rhea Ripley's orbital socket. Liv enters the cage and War Games has officially begun. Rhea removes her protective face mask and Rhea and Liv have a face-off. Liv swings and misses with the bat and Rhea goes for a riptide, but Nia breaks up the riptide attempt. All of Liv's teammates detain Rhea so that Liv can connect with 8 baseball swings to Rhea's rib cage. And this was a bad sell job by Rhea because she should have been unconscious, but she tried to fight back. Liv pulls out some handcuffs. She got these for Dirty Dom's birthday. That's what I heard on the dirt sheet. And then, like I said, Rhea tries to fight back. Her team comes in to assist. So Rhea should have just been unconscious and had the team come in to save her. But Rhea, after eating 8 baseball bat swings to the rib cage, is still somehow moving about. But Io strikes with a top rope missile dropkick to Nia. Lerae spikes Rhea with a tornado DDT. Liv plants Naomi with a code breaker from the top rope. Bayley sunset flip power bombs Liv into the turnbuckle. Nia delivers a Samoan drop to Bayley. This gets a near fall, first near fall of the contest. Tiffany and Io both climb the cage. Io uses that trash can that she left previously mentioned in the match at the top of the cage. She uses that to cover herself, and she and Tiffany both jump off the cage onto the contestants down below. Now Io does the over the moonsault. Tiffany does a swanton. It looks awesome, but the problem I do have is that the contestants in the match were just down there waiting to catch them for the longest. So it looks a little goofy. I think the ladies should have did this a little bit sooner. They got to the top of the cage, waited like 30 seconds. So it's kind of my pet peeve in wrestling, where you can tell the wrestler just looking there to catch them or whatever the case may be. But that's a different story. Now, afterwards, Tiffany is the first to her feet. She reaches into a trash can, and like a magician, she pulls a rabbit out of the hat, or should I say she pulls out the money in the bank briefcase out of the trash can. Liv and Nia are still down. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, Liv and Nia are both still down. So who is Tiffany going to cash in on? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z because EO sprays everyone in the ring with a fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, Rhea handcuffs a blinded Raquel. Nia Samoan drops and let drops Bianca. EO and Bayley breaks up the pinfall at 2. Nia Jax bulldozes both EO and Bayley. Nia whips Bianca with her own braid before placing her onto the table. Nia goes for an annihilator, but Bianca and Naomi work together to powerbomb Nia through the table instead. Liv breaks up the pinfall at 2 with a baseball bat. Liv lures Bianca into a handcuffed Raquel, who big boots Bianca, so Raquel is handcuffed, she's still put in pain. Liv connects with an Oblivion to Bayley onto a steel chair. Rhea breaks up the pinfall at 2. Rhea goes for a riptide attempt, but Raquel in the corner, able to pull Liv away to save her. Liv connects with a code breaker to Rhea while Rhea's mask is off. Remember that? This allows Liv to position Rhea onto a table. Rhea gets up, fights her way back, and delivers a super riptide from the top rope to pin Liv Morgan. And that's how we finish the match. And I thought the match was truly a great match. There are some spots where it wasn't, great. The build, of course, I didn't like, but the action, especially towards the end, it got better and better and better when more and more ladies were entered into the ring. And for the crowd, we got a "Let's Go Bayley" chant. We got the "We Want Tables" chants. They got those. We got "This Is Awesome" chants. We got the "Holy-ish" chants. So the crowd was electric. They loved the match. I loved it as well. And then commentary-wise, I somehow don't find this stink face to be as offensive as Rikishi's. That's what Corey Graves said when Naomi gave Nia that stink face with the toilet seat on the head. And I ain't gonna lie, I almost wanted to tag in. Put me in. Let me enter the War Games match so she can give me one next. Shout out to Big Jimmy Uso. I see you. And then she almost blinded that woman with the bat. Now she's trying to cripple her. That was Michael Cole talking about Liv assaulting Rhea with the baseball bat. He made the baseball bat swings more impactful than what Rhea did. Because, Rhea first sold it really well. Then, when she tried to fight back, I'm like, oh, no, Rhea, I don't know what you're doing here. But overall, I thought it truly was a great match. But because the build was so lackluster, and, the teams kind of didn't make too much sense, I'm going to give it a really good score of 3.80 stars out of 5. And now we're going to go on to our next match, which is the United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on LA Knight. Shinsuke Nakamura returns. He ambushes LA Knight. And this leads to a match for the title. And LA Knight starts this match off clotheslining, suplexing, and elbowing Shinsuke. This gets a 1 count. LA Knight stomps a mud hole into Shinsuke in the corner and strikes with a baseball side on the Shinsuke on the outside of the ring. LA Knight repeatedly bounces Shinsuke's head off the apron. Shinsuke lands a back elbow plus a basement dropkick for a quick 2 count. LA Knight connects with a DDT for a 2 count. LA Knight plants Shinsuke with an arm and hammer. It's a move similar to KOD from Bianca's finisher. This high impact move gets a 2 count. LA Knight leaps to the top rope to meet Shinsuke, but LA Knight slips. This allows Shinsuke to capitalize and land an avalanche belly to back suplex from the top rope. I'm not sure if this is intentional or this is improvised. Shinsuke goes for a Kinshasa, but LA Knight reverses that into a slam. LA Knight climbs the top rope to land the Mega Star elbow. LA Knight goes for the BFT, but Shinsuke rolls into the other ring. Now we got the actual finish. LA Knight and Shinsuke fight between the rings. Each goes for a superplex, but the other reverses. Shinsuke pokes LA Knight in the eyes and delivers a nasty scorpion death drop onto the steel that connects both rings. LA Knight has to be in concussion protocol. This looked nasty. It looked like he got dropped right on the top of his head, around the crown. And then Shinsuke connects with a Kinshasa to the back of LA Knight's head for the 1, 2, 3. Of course, the crowd, we got the LA Knight chants during the entrance. We got the yeah chants during LA Knight strikes. Commentary-wise, LA Knight accidentally dropped his championship title before entering the ring. The commentary team did a great job saying that LA Knight's mental has to be off even before the match started. Right? So, LA Knight, entering the ring, he always holds the title up, does his little hand gesture sign, whatever that sign is. He dropped the title. So then the commentary team talked about LA Knight's mental. They connected that accident. They did a great job connecting that accident, making it seem like it had a greater meaning bigger purpose, anything like that. So great job by the commentary team there. And this is the end of LA Knight's title reign. I thought this was a tough end to it. 'Cause LA Knight, I think, could have had the title longer, but it's like, who is he fighting, right? It didn't seem like they had enough heels on SmackDown. It just Melo and Andrade that he kept fighting and just seemed like an everlasting loop. They bring in Shinsuke, who I think is solid. And I think Shinsuke deserved the title, right? You're going to bring him in. It'd been tough to just bury him, have him lose right away, and that win and go right back to like irrelevance. So they give Shinsuke the title. Maybe they kind of did this later, though. Maybe like had LA Knight get a more meaningful feud. He never really had a marquee match or anything like that. And I like LA Knight. Thought he did solid. Well-deserved U.S. champion. Maybe the megastar got a brighter future, but disappointing end to his reign. Short-lived. But overall, I thought this match was good. I'm giving it a 3.55 stars out of 5. Now we're going on to our next match, which is Shaemus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Bronn Breakker. Now these three have been fighting each other and interfering in each other's matches for weeks on end. Pierce makes it a triple threat match for the IC title. So this match starts off with Shaemus and Bronn. They trade strikes in the center of the ring while Kaiser exits the ring and he just watches from the sidelines. Kaiser enters with a steel chair and Bronn evades the chair strike to deliver a 23-mile-per-hour clothesline to Kaiser. Shaemus delivers 2 Irish curse backbreakers to Bronn. Kaiser wedges a chair into the corner, but Bronn and Shaemus see him doing that, so they gang up on him in the corner. Shaemus goes for 10 beats of the Badgerin on Kaiser, but Bronn Breakker clotheslines Shaemus, doesn't let him get the Badgerin beats off because Bronn felt disrespected, Shaemus turning his back on Bronn. No. The ultimate badass, the unpredictable badass, he's not going for it. That short-lived alliance between Shaemus and Bronn ends. Now Bronn goes for the super spear on the outside to Shaemus, but Kaiser catches him with a baseball slide. Now Kaiser baseball slides Shaemus into the steel steps. So he does his if Bronn runs 23 miles per hour, Kaiser runs 2.3 miles per hour. I swear this man's running style is atrocious to watch, but he does that running drop kick to Shaemus that sends him flying into the steel steps. Now Bronn flies through the air to drop Kaiser with a shoulder tackle. Then he follows that up with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Bronn delivers a kitchen sink to Shaemus, who kicks out at 1. Bronn starts doing push-ups in the ring. The dogs are barking. The crowd gets to barking when Bronn gets on Demon Time. Bronn goes for the clothesline, but Shaemus counters into a power slam. Kaiser breaks it up at 2. Kaiser and Shaemus brawl at ringside. Bronn leaps off the apron and clothesline both challengers over the announce table. All 3 men go spilling over the announce table. Epic moment here by Bronn Breakker. The dogs are barking again. Now we got a meme. Kaiser not knowing where Shaemus is. Shaemus is lurking behind him in the audience. He grabs this man, comes out of the shadow realm to grab this man Kaiser, and gives Kaiser 10 beats of the Badgerin on the barricade. Normally you see the 10 beats done on the apron. Now we get it at ringside in the audience, all over the barricade. Bronn, after punch number 10, Bronn comes in. He comes in swinging wildly at Shaemus. Shaemus ducks. He grabs Bronn. Now it's Bronn's time to get the 10 beats of the Badgerin. A total of 20 beats are given out to Kaiser and Bronn. And it was done in a unique spot, the barricade. So, created a spot there by these guys here. Now, Shaemus leaps off the barricade to double clothesline the other competitors. Kaiser grabs the shillelagh, but takes it back. Shaemus takes it back and clothesline Kaiser into the crowd. Shaemus and Bronn brawl in the center of the ring. Shaemus doesn't use the shillelagh, he just drops on the ground. And then they get in the center of the ring and just start brawling. Shaemus delivers a Celtic cross to Bronn, who barely kicks out at 2. Shaemus goes for white noise from the top rope, but Bronn escapes and delivers a top rope Frankensteiner to Shaemus. Bronn removes the overall straps and it's about to go down. He goes for the spear, but Shaemus sidesteps. And that sends Bronn going right into the previously mentioned steel chair that was wedged into the corner. You guys remember when I said Kaiser set it up earlier in the match? Great foreshadowing there. Now Sheamus decapitates Bronn with a brogue kick, but Kaiser pulls the referee out of the ring to prevent the 3 count. Kaiser then mauls Sheamus with the shillelagh. Kaiser showboats and gloats, so Sheamus catches him slipping with a thunderous running knee strike. They call it the kneecapper. I just learned the name of that move. Kaiser kicks out at 2. I thought we might have a new IC champion. I thought Sheamus finally captured the elusive gold. No, kick out at 2 here by Kaiser. Now we get the actual finish. Sheamus goes for the bro kick to Kaiser, but his ribs gives out because Kaiser wore him out with the shillelagh previously mentioned. This allows Kaiser to capitalize with a rolling senton. Kaiser plants Sheamus face first, but he catches the nastiest of spears from Bron Breakker. The spear sends Kaiser flying out of the ring. Bron then spears Sheamus for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd, we got some let's go Sheamus chants. We got the dogs barking. We got them, of course, counting the 10 beats of the Badger. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10. And then repeating it for the Bron Breakker 10 piece as well. And then we got this is awesome chants. And I do agree with that. Commentary wise, Bron just looked up to the video screen to see himself deliver the move, and he was smiling about it. Absolutely laughing about it. That was Graves and Cole watching, talking about Bron Breakker when he hit that 23-mile-per-hour clothesline. I'm going to need an ice pack after watching this. This is brutal. That was Corey Graves talking about the match in general, because this was a hard-hitting affair between these 3. And what does Sheamus have to do to win the gold? That was Michael Cole at the end of the match, when Kaiser kicked out. Now, this match will be remembered for being a banger. And that's all Sheamus does. He delivers banger after banger. This was a hard-hitting banger. Thought it was an amazing match. Giving him a 4.55 stars out of 5. Kudos to all 3 of these guys. Now we're going on to our next match, which is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's Damian Priest taking on Gunther. It's a rematch of the Priest and Gunther from their SummerSlam match when Gunther beat Priest to become champion. So Priest basically gets his rematch here. He got his rematch, not by having the championship rematch clause. He earned it. He won a fatal 4-way to earn his rematch. And what I don't like about the build to this, though, is that they decided to make Gunther look soft and weak after losing to Cody via roll-up at Crown Jewel. So they wanted to, I guess, add a different layer to Gunther and make him unsure of himself and stuff like that. I feel like that might have been better fit if they gave that to Bron Breakker, who Bron lost to Sami, and then he lost to Jey Uso. And maybe you wanted to give Bron that extra layer. I think Gunther works best when he's this intimidating force, very confident of himself, think he's the best wrestler and all that stuff, and you build him up as this unbeatable heel, and then you have the ultimate underdog such as Sami Zayn at WrestleMania dethrone him, right? You know, something like that. I think that's when Gunther is at his best. I didn't like this wimpy Gunther. I mean, the man looks absolutely soft. He got beat up over and over by Priest leading up to this match. And, like, Gunther tried to ambush Priest. And Priest would still beat him up. Like, how you try to sneak attack somebody and still lose the fight? Like, how pathetic are you? But let's go ahead and dive into the match. Priest and Gunther change in chain wrestling to start the match. Collar and elbow tie-ups, stuff like that. After Priest gains the advantage, Gunther leaves the ring a couple of times to regroup. I mean, the man's looking soft. Holy cow. Gunther goes for a running attack, but Priest reverses that into a flapjack. Priest injures his shoulder during the match, so Gunther begins to target Priest's injured arm. Gunther drops Priest with one of his signature chops. Priest responds with an enziguri, and both men are down. Priest and Gunther get back up. They trade strikes. Priest wins this exchange with a series of chops of his own. Priest plants Gunther with an elevated flatliner for a 2 count. Priest goes for a clothesline, but Gunther dodges and goes for a sleeper hold. Priest escapes that submission, so Gunther transitions into a powerbomb attempt. Priest counters that and goes for a razor's edge attempt. Gunther escapes, so Priest transitions into a triangle submission. Priest rocks Gunther with a super kick after Gunther escapes the submission. But Priest's injured shoulder gives out when he tries to go for the razor edge again. Gunther capitalizes and delivers a powerbomb, near fall. Gunther scales the top rope, but Priest meets him there and delivers a top rope hurricanrana. Priest follows that up and is able to finally deliver the Razor's Edge near fall. Priest goes for the South of Heaven chokeslam, but his shoulder gives out. Gunther applies a Kimura lock in the center of the ring. Priest crawls his way to the bottom rope and breaks the hold. Priest drops Gunther with a sit-out clothesline. This gets a 2 count. Gunther meets Priest on the top of the rope. On the top rope. Priest goes for a South of Heaven from up there, but Gunther fights out of it. Gunther goes for a superplex, but Priest fights out of that, and both competitors fall down. Priest goes outside the ring, and Gunther falls inside the ring. It is an awkward spot, but that led to the actual finish. While the referee goes out, he checks on Damian Priest. Priest says, give them a minute. The referee goes back into the ring. He checks on Gunther. Finn Balor enters from ringside to deliver a coup de grace. The Priest, Gunther big boots Balor for interfering in the match yet again and tosses Priest back in the ring. Gunther powerbombs Priest and applies a sleeper hold that puts Priest to sleep. That's how the match ends. The crowd rallies behind Priest in the match. They got some "This is awesome" chants after some of the kickouts. And then we got "Let's go Gunther" and "Let's go Priest" chants. Commentary-wise, Gunther just booted the features off of Finn's face. That was a great big boot that Gunther gave him. You could feel the anger because one thing they talked about in this match is Priest said if Balor wasn't there, you wouldn't have beat me and stuff like that. And then you kind of see it here, like Gunther's mad because he wanted to prove to himself and to Priest that he doesn't need Balor to win, but Balor does come out here and interfere again to screw Priest over. Now, what's the memorability of this? Gunther still can't beat Priest clean because Balor interferes again. That's what you're going to remember about this match. Like, we can't even get a clean finish, right? We still got to protect Priest or have this Judgment Day thing still go on and on. I didn't like the build. I think the match was really good, maybe even great even, but then we take into the memorability of the interference ruining the actual finish and then the build. I'm still giving it a good match. I'm going to give it a 3.55 stars out of 100. Out of 5 stars. 3.55 stars is atrocious out of 100, but 3.55 stars out of 5 stars. I'm giving it that. Like I said, all these matches I thought were good here, but that one kind of the most disappointing in my opinion. Now we're going on to our next match, which is the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. You gotta love the build for this match. In my last PLE, I talked about Roman losing the 3-on-3, how awesome that was, because now, Roman loses. Now they gotta go back. They gotta run it back. They gotta go redeem themselves. All the pressure is on Roman and the good guys here, because if the bad guys would have lost the first time, then they lose again. You kind of bear the new Bloodline. But no, the new Bloodline's looking like a credible threat leading into the Survivor Series War game. All the pressure's on the good guys. You want to root for them even more. Roman's the underdog. How does the OG Bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, and got Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and then can they get Seth Rollins to join? No, nobody wants to team up with Roman. Who do they get? The Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk, to be their 5th member. They get him just in the nick of time. But Paul Heyman couldn't just get CM Punk to do it. CM Punk said, I'd do it, but Paul, you're going to have to owe me a favor. We're going to see what that favor is. But then we got them take on the new Bloodline, led by Solo Sikoa. And they also got Tama Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf. And they picked up the big, bad Bronson Reed. And that's why a lot of people thought Seth Rollins was going to be the guy. Because Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins had that rivalry? No. They go out there, they swerve everybody, and they got CM Punk. So I thought that was awesome. Seth Rollins said, I hate Bronson Reed, but I hate Roman more. I would never team with him. So I love how WWE's extending these storylines and making them, actually matter. Because I feel like beforehand, Vince might just have Rollins and Roman forget about everything, team up. Oh, y'all the Shield brothers all team up together, whatever. Despite the fact that y'all done betrayed each other and done fought each other numerous times, countless times. It makes more sense for them to actually hate each other than to actually like each other and stuff like that. But this match starts off epic. Because not only is the Tribal Chief stuff on the line, those are the stakes. During the entrance, CM Punk comes out here and he just mushes Bronson Reed right in the face because the new Bloodline's locked up in their cage already, and CM Punk's just antagonizing off rip. Then Roman walks out and he turns his back right on the new Bloodline cage and then puts a one in the air so everybody in the crowd can acknowledge him. The aura level's over 9,000. I'm lit before the match even begins. Then we got Jey Uso making his entrance. He might have one of the best entrances in WWE history. The crowd gets rocking every time. Uso's at the top of the cage. He's yeeting. The crowd's yeeting. Everybody's going crazy. Then he steps into the ring, and now the match begins. We got Tonga taking on Jey Uso. They start by trading punches. Tonga lands a standing splash and goes for a cover, but the match hasn't officially started yet. So this gets a 0 count. And then the crowd starts chanting, "You effed up." Now, let me know what you guys think. I always think the wrestlers do that just to show their experience. I think it's all intentional. I don't really think they messed up, but I mean, the crowd let Tonga have it for the time being. But then Jay drops Tonga with an enziguri. He falls out with a running hip attack. Then the next person enters the ring, and that is Bronson Reed. Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso fought the night before on Friday Night SmackDown. Fatu won that, so the new Bloodline has the advantage of who comes in first. So Bronson Reed comes in. He tosses in a bunch of chairs as he enters the ring. Jey Uso grabs 3 chairs. He launches each of them at Reed's face. The first 2 hit Reed right in the face, but Reed punches the third chair to deflect it. Reed plows through Jey Uso, then proceeds to assault Jey Uso with a chair. Reed and Tonga jump Jey Uso in the corner until Big Jimmy Uso enters. Next, the Usos work together to fight back and stagger Reed with the Uso shimmy uppercut. Jimmy leaps off the top rope to land a corkscrew moonsault onto Reed and Tonga, so he takes them both out, 2-for-1 special. Jay gives Reed 10 punches in the corner, and Jimmy gives Tonga 10 punches in the corner. And then the Usos give Reed a double uppercut together. Tonga Loa is ready to enter the match next, but Solo pulls him back and sends Jacob Fatu into the match instead. Solo's leading the troops. The Usos jump Fatu as he enters the ring, but Fatu fights them off. Fatu tosses Jimmy into the cage, and Jay delivers a Samoan drop to Fatu, but Fatu immediately kips up and drops Jay with a spinning elbow. Fatu does a backflip that kicks Jimmy into the cage and connects with a standing moonsault that lands on the Jay. If you guys know Bianca's, where she does that backflip, springboard, moonsault, whatever, that's pretty much what Jacob Fatu did. A guy like him to be moving like that is very impressive. The new Bloodline lands a triple team back body drop to Jay. Now CM Punk is ready to enter, but Roman prevents him from entering, and he signals for Sami Uso to enter instead. CM Punk stares down Roman Reigns. So the latest, or most recent person added to the new OG Bloodline, in the head of the table. They are not getting along right now. So Sami Zayn enters. He gives Reed 20 punches in the corner. Then he leaps off the top rope for a crossbody, but Fatu catches him. Jimmy super kicks Fatu to save Sami from getting fallaway slammed. Jimmy and Sami do their secret handshake in the middle of the ring, and that gets a loud pop. Now it is Tonga Loa's time to enter the ring. He brings in 2 tables. Fatu tosses Jimmy into the cage. Tonga Loa throws Sami into the cage, then crushes Sami with a splash. Fatu lands a springboard moonsault to Jay, then does the meme with the crazy eyes and the praying hands. You guys might have seen it. Jacob Fatu, this man's facial expressions are scary. Jacob Fatu is one of those guys that you accidentally made eye contact with him, you might have to apologize. But now it's time for the next contestant to enter. Roman Reigns is ready to enter. He looks at CM Punk. CM Punk isn't moving. Roman Reigns casually starts walking towards the end of the cage, but CM Punk darts past Roman Reigns, and CM Punk is the next entrant, and Roman Reigns is pissed. So now the new Bloodline, they wait for CM Punk to enter the ring, but CM Punk sees that he's outnumbered. He retreats, goes under the ring, and he brings out a toolbox, the same toolbox that he used to bust Drew McIntyre open. Great long-term storytelling here. Continuity is great here. So Punk gets in with the toolbox. He bashes all 4 Bloodline members in the head with it. Punk then smashes Tongaloa's arm with the toolbox like a dozen times. Punk gives a running knee strike and bulldog combo to Jacob Fatu onto the toolbox. But Jacob Fatu eats this move, immediately gets up and lands a pop-up Samoan drop to CM Punk. I actually like the Jacob Fatu eating the moves and getting right up. But this one, I'm not feeling the no sell of a bulldog onto a toolbox. I got mixed reactions about that one. Let me know what you guys thought about that one in the comment section down below. If it's a regular bulldog in the middle of the ring, I'm cool with Fatu doing it. He's one of the few people that does it in WWE, but I'm not sure about that one. But nevertheless, the new Bloodline continues their domination of the OG Bloodline. As Solo Sikoa, the final participant for his team, gets ready to enter. Now, Solo walks over before he goes to the ring. He walks over to Roman and tells him, "I'll show you what a true tribal chief does." Solo then makes his way to the ring, and he starts commanding his troops. He tells them to line them up. Solo slams the steel cage door into the head of Sami Zayn. Then he slams the steel cage door into the head of Jey Uso. Then he slams the steel cage door into the head of Jimmy Uso. Solo then enters the cage with a lock and a chain. Solo commands the new Bloodline to destroy the old Bloodline. Fatu stacks the Usos on top of each other and lands his top rope moonsault onto both of them. Rhea lands a tsunami onto Sami Uso. Punk tries to fight the new Bloodline 1-on-5, but he gets mauled. Solo locks the door with the chain and lock he entered with, so Roman cannot enter through the door. How is Roman going to get into this match? So Roman, it's time for him to come out. He can't get in through the door. So what does Roman do? He climbs the cage. The new Bloodline tried to prevent Roman from getting in, but Roman fights them all off. Roman then leaps off the top rope to deliver a crossbody to all 5 of them. Epic moment here. Entered in like a boss. OTC stuff. Now, Roman drops all of them again with an uppercut. Then he goes over to the other ring to reunite with his team. Roman helps everyone get up except for CM Punk. Now Paul Heyman walks down the ramp and tells the best in the world and his tribal chief that they must work together to win War Games. Now, let the War Games begin. All 10-man trade punches, and it's all out brawl. Sami delivers a top rope DDT to Reed. The Usos climb the top rope to land a Uso splash to Tama Tonga and Tongaloa at the same time. Vintage Uso stuff here. Solo goes for a Samoan spike on Roman, while Fatu goes for an elevated DDT to Punk. Punk and Roman both escape, and Punk goes for a GTS on Fatu, while Roman goes for a spear onto Solo. But Solo sidesteps, and Roman accidentally spears CM Punk instead. Friendly fire is on, it is enabled, and this spear was similar to the spear that Roman gave Rock at WrestleMania 40. Solo capitalizes on Roman's shock, and Samoan spikes Roman, who barely kicks out at 2. Reed delivers a Death Valley driver to Punk. Fatu goes for his top rope moonsault onto Punk, but Fatu slips and misses. He injures his knee in the process, and I'm not sure if this was accidental or intentional, because Fatu always hits his moonsault like picture perfect every time, and he messed up here. Or maybe it was an intentional thing to give him a knee injury so Fatu could get taken out. I mean, how else are you going to put this man down? So, it reminds me of he only messed up twice. I seen him do the moonsault. Both times they played off an injury thing, so I'm not sure this is legit. Like, he really messed up and tweaked his knee, or that's kind of how they kind of wrote him off and that was like planned. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But the match continues. Fatu limps over to attack Roman, but Roman catches Fatu with a low blow. Roman spears Solo out of his boots, but Reed derails Roman's comeback with a super kick. Reed positions Roman onto a table, then Reed scales the top of the cage for a top of the cage tsunami. Reed flies off the top of the cage for the tsunami, but Punk moves Roman out of harm's way just in the nick of time. Reed crashes and burns. This time, Roman helps CM Punk get up. Fatu knocks down both Punk and Roman. Fatu goes for an elevated DDT to Punk, but Roman saves Punk by Superman punching Fatu. Solo gives Roman 2 Samoan spikes, but the Usos break up the pin with a double super kick. The Usos double super kicks Fatu, then connect with a 1D. Jay positions Fatu onto the table while Jimmy climbs the top of the cage. Tongaloa tries to save Fatu, but Jay spears Tongaloa. Tama throws Jay into the cage. Sami slams Tama down with a blue thunder bomb. Jimmy soars off the top of the cage to land an Uso splash onto Jacob Fatu through the table. Now we got the actual finish. All 5 members of the OG Bloodline help each other up. They all get back on their feet and they surround Solo, who is the last member standing for the new Bloodline. Roman offers Solo a hug, but Solo goes for a spike instead. Jay and Jimmy catch Solo with a double super kick. Sami hits Solo with a haluva kick. CM Punk gives Solo the GTS. Roman spears Solo for the 1-2-3. After the match, Punk and Roman shake hands and all the Bloodline celebrate. Now the crowd was electric. We got Olay chants. We got Yeet chants for every Jay strike for his entrance, of course. We got Sami Uso chants. We got CM Punk chants. We got the UF'd up chants because Tama went for a pin. Like I said, I think that was intentional. I think that was planned. We also got Uso chants whenever the Usos did their running hip attacks. We got Tongaloa sucks, and another person said I second that. So it's just 2 very loud fans. I noted that. We got this is Usi chant. We got FU Solo chants throughout the match. We got OTC chants. We got holy-ish chants for when Jimmy Uso jumped off the top rope for the Uso splash. We got this is awesome chants. The crowd was electric. Commentary-wise, awesome as well. Jacob Fatu looks like he belongs in the cage for all of our safety. That's Corey Graves. I wonder if Jackie Redmond will do an interview with Tama because I don't want to go anywhere near the guy. That was Michael Cole. I like Big Jim not wasting any time to bring weapons in, just running to the aid of his brother. That's Corey Graves. Normally they bring in these weapons and stuff. Big Jim just sprinted right to the ring, got right in, started throwing hands. It's time to start saying your prayers that you're the OG Bloodline. That was Graves when Fatu entered the match. And then put the werewolf inside the cage and turn him loose. Ironically enough, that is also Corey Graves. Jacob Fatu is all the gifts of an athlete can hope for, but with none of the morals. That was also Corey Graves. Graves was on fire this match. And the final quote I have for Corey Graves, you don't win war games. If you're lucky, you'll survive. And that's exactly what the OG Bloodline did. This match, without a doubt, will be remembered for the Bloodline Civil War. The build up to it was fire. You could rewatch it and still be fire. Everything about it was fire. The twists and turns on who is going to be whose partner and who's going to be the fifth for this team and that team and all that stuff. Even Solo tried to recruit Seth Rollins and stuff. Everything in the match, before the match, after the match, phenomenal. I'm giving it a spectacular score of 4.95 out of 5 stars. The only reason it's not 5 out of 5, there are some major injuries. Bronson Reed and Jimmy Uso both got hurt when they jumped off the top of the cage. I don't think they will ever do those spots again unless they got people that did like what the women did, where you got them all in the ring and they're there to catch you. So I think that's the only thing bad about this match. But other than that, kudos to everybody involved. 4.95 stars out of 5. And that will conclude this video. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys on the next one, or Royal Rumble video, or maybe Saturday night's main event.